catching up with you. I know it's been a while since I've put out some information that may be useful to you. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Jennifer and I am a Soul Whisperer coach. Um, what I do is I really work from my heart and soul. I can tune to people's souls and I help them to clear out negative emotion, emotional baggage. And it's even as simple as people who are wanting more success or they're desiring something and they're feeling blocks in their life. So what I want to share with you today is the power of your alignment. And yes, I am reading from notes, so I will look down occasionally. And that your alignment is everything. Um, what people don't realize is when I sit and I'm with my clients, it comes up time and time again, and I love it because it's a reminder to me when I'm not practicing it. I tell you what, it's hard not to practice it though because it feels so good. So, what is your alignment? Your alignment is everything. It is your well-being. It is your center. So I'm going to use some different words. So when you come into alignment, you are at the core of who you are. You feel amazing. You feel happy. You feel joyful. You feel content. You may feel all of these emotions, the range of them. You may just feel content, and that's enough sometimes. You're coming back to your center. You're centering yourself. So that's what alignment is. It is coming back into your alignment. But the reason why it's suggestive of an alignment is if you could imagine there is something greater than you, I don't want to say greater, there is something beyond you that is, I like to call it your soul. Some people can call it God, essence, spirit. You call it whatever you want, higher self. It doesn't really matter. But you do have some sort of energy, magnificence, energy presence that is, I won't say greater than you, I will say bigger than you because it's always expanding because of you. And when you are feeling good, you align with that part of you that feels good. When you are feeling well-being or health, you align with that part of you that's healthy and has well-being because at the center of that well-being is everything. It's everything. It's relationships, it's money, it's health, it's well-being, it's your next new home, it's the next new adventure, it's your next car, it's the next relationship, it's anything and everything that is all the good stuff. And when you feel your alignment, your goodness, that's what you come into alignment with. So when you don't feel good, you come out of your alignment. And that's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. It is this part that's guiding you, telling you with this negative emotion that when you come away, you don't like the way it makes you feel. It's your guidance. Negative emotion is extremely powerful. It is there to serve you. And as humans, we tend to give it a bad rap. We don't like to feel crappy. We don't like to feel angry. But just know that if you mostly reside here in your alignment, you are going to feel good most of the time. And you are meant to sometimes break away a little bit. Of course, it's not a bad thing because when you come back to feeling good, you feel amazing. So the idea is you do not want to be out here and for long periods, okay? Whichever that direction is from your center. You do not want to be out away from who you are. You don't want to be away from feeling good. It's unnatural to us. We are meant to feel joy and love. We're meant to feel well, okay? So that's what that's what your alignment is. And the reason why I can see you there. The reason why I want to share that with you is so important is because it's an internal job first. And the reason why this information is going to be really helpful to you is because often we think if we do stuff, if we change this, if we make that happen, if we try, it'll change the way we feel. And sometimes that is true. But if you are waiting on some condition to change, if you are waiting on someone else to change, are you waiting for that someone to come up to you and give you the promotion? If you're waiting, you'll be waiting forever. And if you're trying to change those things outside of you, and it feels like a lot of effort, it is not going to work. It's a hard road. You have to work from the inside first. It's an internal job first. So it's changing the way you feel and changing the way you think around things. It's not to do it all at once, and it's not to do it, expect it to do it all in one go. Sometimes that works and it does happen, but it's just to gradually start to change the way you think a little bit different to where you were. If you want some change, if you want good stuff, if you want to get into alignment and feel good. But I can honestly tell you there are some simple things. You don't have to actually do a lot to come into alignment. People think, oh, it'd be great when I have this, I'm going to feel amazing. Or, oh, if I just didn't have to go to work, I would feel so good. Well, if that could happen, that would be nice. But when is that going to happen? Like, can you just not go to work? Maybe for a day, but then you've got to go back to work. So you have to change your world from the inside out. You have to change the way you feel and the way you think around things. If there's things you're feeling a lot of resistance around, that's what you've got to start to change. And it's very easy. Sometimes, yes, it's hard for some people, but it's easy in the sense that you don't have to try and tackle everything. There's a very simple thing that you can do, and I do it often and daily. People call it gratitude. I like to call it appreciation. So love and appreciation are the same thing, okay? It's the same word. When you love something, you are appreciating it. When you appreciate something, you are loving it. Gratitude's a little different for me, but for some people, they like to use that word. So you use whatever word you want. But when you can just, every day, I promise you this, if you spend every day on your hand, in that whole day, finding 5 things that you have appreciation for or that you are grateful for, just make it a practice. Just being aware by the end of the day. And if you haven't done it, just find 5 things in that hour. You will start to feel different, because from the center of who you are, your alignment is love and is appreciation. That's who we are, to the core of who we are. So when we're loving something, we're really swimming in our core. We're really allowing that part of ourselves. And the more you do that, the more this feeling of well-being wells up within you. Now, things don't work if you just do it once. Sometimes it can for some people. And then they go, wow, that was amazing. And then may never do it much again, or they just do it once and they go, oh, nothing happened. You have to look at, when you put a seed in the ground, you don't put it in the ground and then go, okay, come on, let's go, and it's up now. There's a bit of time in between. You got to water it. It's going to need light. It's going to need nurturing, okay? A little bit. So maybe by the end of the week, or in 20 days or 30 days, you might see something, or in 40 days, depending on what you planned, you might see something come through. So do you just water it once and walk away? Not usually. Like, if we're speaking metaphorically, you're not going to just put it in the ground, walk away, and then if rain doesn't come for a week, that little thing might make it, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so you need to nurture. So every day, finding things to appreciate, it's so easy. You do it for a month. Just try it for a month. Set yourself a little goal and even write it down every day, 5 things, and check that you're doing it at least for a month. But know that when you're doing it, the process it's so important. It's how it makes you feel. Because it's not to do this so I can get what I want. You're doing it because it makes you feel good. And as you feel good and you grow with that and it becomes more, you're actually in alignment. And then things are easier from that space. You will have clarity from that space. You have confidence from that space. You'll be empowered from that space. It is so underestimated, just feeling good, just looking for things to appreciate, just being a little bit here and now when you can. And it's not only what comes back to you, it's what you see. You start to live in a world that's very rich and abundant with so much beauty. So that is one very simple thing you can do. Giving to you, putting yourself first. And unless you actually give back to you first, you really will become depleted and you become resentful and tired and you have not much to give to others. So you can pick and choose what you want to do, but meditation, 10, 15 minutes a day. And there are so many forms of meditation. You can just lay down in your backyard and look at the clouds. You could put music on for 10 or 15 minutes. You could just focus on your breath for 10 or 15 minutes, in and out, in and out, and make it a daily thing. Like I meditate really every day, but sometimes on the weekend I don't. But that's because I've done it for so long now. In my bank, I've got a lot of what you might call energy I can draw from. But if I didn't do it for about a week, I start to really feel it. So, you know, get the ball rolling and start doing something for at least a month, and then you can back off a bit. But you will actually get so much from it. When I go to meditate and I come out of it, I'm so recharged because I'm laying there and everything's just aligning. Just that, I love that idea of everything aligning. And it's like you've had a 5-hour nap. So it's easier than what you think to come into alignment. And when you're in alignment, you are in the flow of receiving and giving. So it really is about, your alignment is about your thoughts, your feelings, and then your actions. Now you can do things, you can take action to make yourself feel like you're aligned, and that's good. But if you're taking a lot of action to put yourself into alignment, that's exhausting. So start to think of things that make you feel good. Start to think yourself into alignment. Start to ease up on yourself. Be kind to yourself. We are not taught this. We are not taught to love ourselves, to be kind to ourselves. We're taught to do it for everyone else. And through that catalyst, through that with someone else, you can feel it. And that's really nice. But you have to feel into it when you're stepping over that line and giving too much. So it's very important to give to you first. Your feeling is everything. When you can feel that you're stepping over the line or not, you will know. But little practices every day that restore back to you, that give back to you, and you know what you become? A very powerful example. Now, you're not doing it to be that, but you become that example for others around you. Your children, they feel it. They just naturally then feel confident because that's naturally who they are. That's the state from which they were born from. They actually are born from a state of brilliance. We're all born with it, actually. And it's just life, whether it's you've allowed it to beat it out of you. But it doesn't matter, even if it has a bit. You can reignite that. We all have inner child and outer child, which I quickly want to talk about. I've talked about it before, but I'm going to talk a little bit again about that. So a lot of the work I do with people is inner outer child. So when we grow up, we have these experiences. When we're children, we're so powerful. Like from the ages of 0 to 7, you're a really powerful being. You're very connected to source, very in tune. You've just come from that space, whatever you think it is, whatever it means to you. So children are beautiful. Babies, I always say, look at a baby. It's joy, it's pure, it's unconditional love. So you're living a very powerful part of your life where you are imprinted upon. And if we've had experiences that have caused us to, if it's been traumatic, some trauma, or where we've had some negative events happen, it causes us to sort of split out away from ourselves. Now the child will either accept or reject what's going on. They'll either go, they'll blow it off, or they'll take it on and make it a part of them and sort of bury it, and it doesn't get dealt with. And then as we move through life, we keep having experiences to force us to deal with that, because you are attracting what is inside of you. Okay, so what happens is, if you didn't have a really great childhood, you have a traumatized child that lives outside of you that is not happy. So often you're not happy, or you pretend to be, but it gets stirred up. The trigger comes along, someone does something, and then that child acts out. And that child is you. It's this little child living inside this adult body. That's why you see some adults carrying on like children, because they literally have, you know, a traumatized little girl or traumatized little boy. Now, when I say trauma, that's a broad word. It could be a little bit of trauma. It could be a lot of trauma. It could be extreme. It just, anything that stands out that makes you feel, whoa. And until you make peace with that, that child stays outside of you. It's not happy. Okay. Now, of course, it's probably living inside of you, but I like to say it's outside of you, because what I do in my sessions is we make peace with that child. We shift that child. And as the adult now that we are, we parent that child and get that child to merge, so that when it merges, it's the happy child. And now you have access to that happy child, not the wounded child, you see. So you might want to look at, if something's coming up in your life time and time again, which child in you or outside of you is not happy? What did someone do to you that represents what this person is doing? Because these people that are showing up in our lives, they are just gifts showing us, there are triggers going, I need to clean up some of this emotional work. And if you don't, it just gets bigger and more until, you know, it becomes more dramatic. It's for you to pay attention, and it gathers energy as you go along. It's like a snowball. So I'm just going to end on one more thing that's very powerful to help you know what's going on energetically within your life. Things that you are missing in your life. I was going to keep this short, but wow, we're already on 16 minutes. Anyway, things that you are missing in your life. So say there's something you're really wanting in your life and you're missing it. Let's say it's a relationship. Let's say it's a part of you that you feel is missing. Let's say it's really, really want something and you've been waiting like half your life and you still haven't received it. Whatever it is, that thing that is missing, this is the rule of thumb, on the outside that you're waiting for to happen, or you tried to get and you missed it, or you tried and it didn't work, you're missing it on the inside. When you find a way to conjure that, to feel that, to know it, to believe it, to be it before you physically experience it, it's not missing anymore. So, and I know it sounds crazy, but that's how it works. When you feel, it's like when you meet someone and you just were like, you weren't really looking, so you weren't missing anything, so they show up. Well, it's the same thing. If there's something you're working hard at, or something you really want, or something you've missed for so long, you've got to fill that space inside of you in order to attract. That's how law of attraction works. And this is why people think law of attraction doesn't work, is because they think, I've been wanting this for so long, and if I've been wanting it, how come I haven't gotten it? Because they are focusing on the absence of it. So the universe matches you with the absence of it. Simple. When you start understanding the laws of the universe and how it works and how you can work with your energy, you will come to realize how powerful you are. So have fun and play with it. And I hope you've enjoyed this, this video. I certainly have. And I'll be popping back in again real soon when I can. So big soul love from me. Bye for now.